In this gold belt video, I will show how to test a background service in Java. I have the project open here in Visual Studio Code. I'm using the test existing functionality code base. Effectively, what we need to do here, we'll look in the main, is the app.java. So here's our main method. We need to basically just run this main method. There is all the code that we need for whether it's running, whether it should be running. This is our infinite loop. This is actually running through everything. So this is effectively what we need to get running and inside our test. So it's actually probably, of the four languages, in Java, it's probably the easiest. We just find our entry point and we call it like a method. So let's go ahead and start off in our test. Let me rename this. We'll call it transaction loading test, since we are loading transactions. Visual Studio Code is slow this morning. All right, let's just forget that. Okay, I can type it faster than apparently it can do things. All right, let's go and format our file. We'll get rid of our comments. And convert to tabs, excellent. And then let's go ahead and create our first test. We'll say transaction loading success. So our goal is to get this to get to a point where we can see some error that's not just a runtime error, that's a connectivity error. Something with maybe a database or maybe a file system or a web service, depending on what the background service is trying to do. That's our goal, is to get to that level of an error. Effectively, what I need to do here is just call app.main. And in here, it needs args, but it doesn't look like we're using args. So let me just pass null. I don't know that I need to really specify anything. This is probably throwing an exception. It is, so I'll just add the throws declaration, say the test can throw any exception at once. Now from here, we need to know that it's running. So let's just do a quick thing. You don't have to do this, but I want to show something because otherwise this is fairly uneventful. So let's just say assert equals true. And we'll say app.get is running. So we're going to create an is running method to let us know, is it running? And then what we'll do is we'll say app.stop. And again, I can put, so in between these, I can put some code that I need to do. So maybe I want to detect the database connectivity or detect if a file's being created or something along those lines. So I can do that detection here. I can do assertions here. But at the end, I want to stop that service. I want to say, okay, you're done. Don't do anything else. And now here, I'll just do the same thing we did before, which is get the is running, but we'll say it's false. So I'm going to set these up inside the app. Again, you don't have to do these. I do recommend the stop. That would be nice so that you can stop it in the test. You may want to stop it and restart it or stop it and make sure that things clean up. So this is an important thing to add. Normally with the background service in Java, you would just kill the process. But in our case, we may want to actually stop it as a part of our testing to simulate what the user might do with actually stopping it, physically stopping it. So let's go ahead and create these real quick. The first one, public static get is running. That one's super simple. It just gets the is running variable. We already have an is running variable. So we'll just return that. Stop, on the other hand, is a little interesting, but it's not that interesting. We're just going to call the should be running, and we're going to set that to false. So we're going to say should be running is false. So is running and should be running in this case are two different variables. Should be running is telling the background service, should you be running? And the is running is its own way of saying, yes, I am running or yes, I'm not. So there could be a delay by milliseconds or even seconds between those two. So that's basically what we've got there. Everything's looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and run this, and let's hope that we get a problem as we connect to, I think it's the database is going to be the connectivity issue. All right, there's our exception, and we do indeed have a database connectivity problem. So that's basically it in terms of Java. Java, like I said, is probably one of the simplest ones in terms of background service. All we're doing is finding the main entry point, the main loop, calling into that loop, and then giving ourselves the ability to stop it somehow for our tests.